Greetings and welcome back to JT on the Go. Today I am super excited about this video. We'll be traveling on Brightline from Miami, Florida to Orlando, Florida. So what are we waiting for? Let's get this started.
Our trip starts here at the Miami Central Station, which is located in the heart of downtown Miami. The main entrance to the Brightline station looks like this. The interiors here look incredible. This station started operation back in 1896 for the Florida East Coast Railway. Brightline came here and did a great job making the station what it is now when they began operations back in 2018. What we see here are the kiosks so you can book a train from the station. It's best to do it online before coming here because if you book at the last minute, the train you select may be full. Miami Central Station is 3 levels. The first level is the floor you enter on. The second is where you'll find the lounges and the food hall. The trains are on the 3rd level. This station is very clean. To enter the area to wait for Brightline trains, you have to pass a small security checkpoint, which is quicker than the checkpoints at the airports. You just need to scan your ticket to get past the gates and put your bag through a detector. Passing through security is complete. The Mary Mary bar is an example of a refreshing touch in a train station. It's a bar that serves alcohol. The status of our train is on time. Behind the Mary Mary bar is a small shop that has drinks, snacks, and souvenirs. The only thing I got here was an apple juice. We booked premium class on our journey to Orlando. With security out of the way, let's check out the premium lounge. Brightline trains offer smart class and premium class. Though premium class is the most expensive option, your ticket gets you access to the premium lounge. Smart class on Brightline is a different topic. The premium lounge is included with your fare if you book premium class. You can see on the screen that Brightline has multiple trains that leave each day. Between Miami and Orlando, Brightline has a total of 15 to 17 trains departing per day. There are plenty of places to charge your device if you need to use it. The lounge has space to relax or get work done. By the entrance is a mini fridge and drink dispensers. And the premium lounge has many free snacks. The last thing to point out is that the lounge gives you a spectacular view of Miami, Florida, my favorite US city. Premium class tickets cost between $79 and $215.90. The price depends on the time of travel on a specific day. Our train is ready for boarding. Be careful, I found out they actually had it on the screen about 90 seconds before they made the first boarding call. Alright, the train on the right is ours. Brightline trains do look like clean, high-speed trains, which they are. All 4 coaches on our train are pink. The standard Brightline train set has a Siemens SCB-40 charger on each end. In between are 4 Siemens Venture coaches. Each Brightline train set has one color for all 4 coaches. Our train set was pink. Others are all red, orange, green, or blue. Here's what the Siemens SCB-40 charger looks like. Brightline is the only one that operates this variant of charged locomotives built by Siemens, and all of them are yellow. It has a more aerodynamic face compared to the Siemens SC44 charger and the Siemens ALC42 charger. That green signal ahead means this train is about to depart. 3 of the 4 coaches are for smart class. The one at the very back is the premium car. Each coach is clearly marked so that passengers know where to go. Coach 1 is the premium coach. Wow, look at these interiors. I've heard great things about Brightline and saw what the trains look like on the internet. Now it's my turn to experience them. Here are our seats. The trip time to Orlando from Miami on Brightline will take 3 hours and 30 minutes. Here is the list of stops our train will make. We're now leaving Miami and beginning our high-speed trip to Orlando. From here until West Palm Beach, we will be traveling through the Miami-Dade area. Here's what the seat looks like. You'll have all the legroom you want. This small table is for holding a drink or watching a movie on your phone. This table is for eating or doing work on the computer. These are the controls for the lights. Those are the power outlets. There's also another one between the coaches down here. Between the seats are two armrests. This does reduce arm bashing for the middle armrest. And of course, there's one on the aisle and one by the window. This button is to recline the seat. To put your seat up, you press the button and push yourself back. There are handles for support. Because the aisle on Brightline's Venture coaches is so wide, you can get around the beverage cart that is here for the premium included services in premium class. Drinks, snacks, and a meal are included in your premium fare. Here's our first station stop, Aventura, which is north of Miami and south of Fort Lauderdale. Here comes another Brightline train heading to Miami. It's one of the train sets that has all red Venture coaches. We're now leaving Aventura. Our next stop will be Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The Aventura Brightline station is the closest Brightline station to and a 22-minute drive east of Hard Rock Stadium, the home stadium of the Miami Dolphins football team. My favorite of the 5 Venture coach colors for Brightline has to be either the green or the blue ones. Honestly, I think all of the Brightline train colors look gorgeous. This airport we're passing is Fort Lauderdale/Hollywood Airport. Alright, here's downtown Fort Lauderdale. I do remember this area because I lived in Fort Lauderdale for the first 10 years of my life. Even boaters are getting used to seeing Brightline trains come through here. Fort Lauderdale, Florida is where you will find Port Everglades, which is a 12-minute drive away from the station. Port Everglades is where some cruise ships start or finish cruises in Fort Lauderdale. Our next stop will be West Palm Beach before hitting the high-speed line to Orlando. Brightline does have a station in Boca Raton, Florida, which is just north of Fort Lauderdale and south of West Palm Beach, but our train is passing it up. Other Brightline trains do stop there. Brightline began service between Miami and West Palm Beach with trains stopping at Fort Lauderdale. Brightline stations in Aventura and Boca Raton opened in December of 2022. These tracks are owned by the Florida East Coast Railway and had to be refurbished and have a second track added before the Brightline trains used them. Unlike Amtrak, who has a hard time with freight traffic, Brightline is not having a hard time with freight traffic. They have an agreement, which is why Brightline trains are arriving on time. Here's the Boca Raton station. Nothing really special about this town, but Boca Raton is where I was born. I then lived in Fort Lauderdale for 10 years after being born in Boca Raton before moving away. It was clear when we left Fort Lauderdale, but because we're in the tropics, rainstorms are very frequent out here. For Brightline, their trains don't care about it, they just chug through it. There are flights to Orlando from Miami that take just under an hour, but you do have to show up at the airport 2 hours before boarding. This comes into effect when comparing the amount of time spent flying between Miami and Orlando compared to using Brightline. So you want to know where you can make a call without disturbing the passengers? This is it. It's a little couch added so people can make calls, enjoy the view, or wait for the restroom, which is right next door to be vacant. There are also trash and recycling bins out here. I'll use the recycling bin to dispose my apple juice bottle that I got in Miami. You can even lower the shade to keep the sun out. All of the windows where the seats are also have this. Now we are nearing West Palm Beach. Besides the normal paint schemes I mentioned for Brightline's fleet of Venture coaches, some train sets do have ads on them, but they cover all the windows to the point where you can't see the outside as well as on the normal coaches. Other train sets have different ads to try to convince people. After West Palm Beach, it's a straight shot to Orlando. We're now leaving West Palm Beach in the Miami-Dade area. Between West Palm Beach and Orlando, the train will reach speeds up to 125 miles per hour. This is where we see Brightline being a high-speed train. When the button to open the bathroom is red, that means it's occupied. But when it's green, that means it's vacant. To lock, press the button with the key. Everything in here was in working order. This bathroom is clean and also very spacious. Press the key button again to unlock the door. One thing I forgot to point out is that the table above the garbage and recycling bin is where you can put stuff. Welcome aboard Bright Pink. All Brightline trains with the pink venture coaches are called Bright Pink. Every Brightline train is named after their color. In Premium, seats are 2x1 configuration. There are handles to hold on to when crossing between coaches. Coach 2 has a seat by the restroom overlooking the right side of the train. We are traveling north this afternoon, so that means the sun may obstruct views on the left side of the train on a bright day. I did watch the left side a few times, but a lot of time was spent on the right side of the train. Let's return to our premium coach to see what the meals look like. First of all, I like how they organize the meals and the trays they use to hold the whole meal. I got the turkey and Swiss Hawaii sandwich with a salad and some fruit. It came with some mayo for flavoring, a chocolate bar, and the bag where all the utensils are. The food was great. Large luggage that can't go onto the shelves can be stored in this rack by the doors. Loading and offloading on Brightline trains is easy because the aisle is wide. This area is the accessible part where the disabled can sit. Luggage that is small can fit in these shelves as well. Many were lucky to film Phase 1, but this video will cover Phase 1 and 2. Phase 2 is the line from West Palm Beach to Orlando, which opened on September 22nd, 2023. But they aren't done. Phase 3 is expected to take Brightline all the way to Tampa, Florida, which will allow people to use Brightline to attend the Florida State Fair, which occurs in Tampa. They were also considering stopping at Disney Springs in Walt Disney World, but that was opted out because Orlando has several other theme parks like Universal Studios and SeaWorld, which would make it unfair to them that Disney has Brightline and they don't. So the route will bypass all the theme parks in Orlando. It's unclear when the trains will begin service to Tampa. But after they start service, I might think about trying Smart Class from Tampa all the way to Miami. But Brightline has more. They are building a high-speed line called Brightline West between Los Angeles, California and Las Vegas, Nevada. Service over there is expected to begin in 2028, just in time for the 2028 Summer Olympics, which is set to occur in Los Angeles. This is good because locals of Las Vegas can use Brightline West to go see the Olympics. But for now, we have trains going from Miami to Orlando on Brightline. The segment between West Palm Beach and Orlando cost $6 billion. Tracks were built and refurbished, and the crossings along Florida's Atlantic coast between West Palm Beach and Cocoa were also upgraded. It took a total of 4 years to build the line. But locals out here are still getting used to seeing Brightline trains appearing constantly. People, drivers, and boaters are used to stopping for freight trains, but Brightline added to their inconvenience. In fact, Brightline has struggled with their railroad crossings because some drivers and pedestrians attempt to beat trains at crossings. That level of risk is part of the reason building the West Palm Beach to Orlando line was expensive. This shows that it's challenging to build high-speed rail in the US in the 21st century, but the opening of the Orlando and West Palm Beach line opened the doors for high-speed rail in the US. Brightline was also the first customer of the Siemens Venture Coach. Amtrak did order some to be used on their Midwestern routes and Capital Corridor services. Like we explained earlier, Siemens created the SCB-40, SC44, and ALC-42 charger. Brightline uses the SCB-40, but some of Amtrak's SC44s and ALC-42s have experienced hiccups in their early days. Brightline's SCB-40s haven't experienced any hiccups because they have better maintenance practices and the Florida climate is suitable for them. SCB-40s are also diesel-electric locomotives, meaning Brightline is reducing their carbon footprint. Each Brightline train started with 4 coaches, but by now, Brightline has ordered more Venture coaches from Siemens and added them to all their trains to increase passenger capacity. They are planning for each train to go from having 4 coaches to 7. Brightline is also aiming to build a station in the town of Cocoa, Florida. They have announced the plans. The addition of a station in Cocoa is also another great choice because east of Cocoa is Cocoa Beach, another town famous for being another home port for cruise ships. But for now, Cocoa is where the Brightline trains leave the Florida East Coast Freight Line and head west to Orlando International Airport. Now we are traveling along State Road 528, or the Martin Anderson Beachline Expressway, which sees a high volume of traffic during the cruise season. I filmed this video in 2024 when trains still had 4 coaches. When I came back through here before and after filming the Disney Treasure in 2025, the trains were running with 5 carriages. If Brightline built that station in Cocoa, people could use Brightline to bypass most of State Road 528, which could be backed up when having to head from Orlando to the cruise ports. But in Cocoa Beach, you do need a car to get around if you come in a few days before your cruise begins. Coming in a few days before embarkation is better than coming in on the day of embarkation. Brightline doesn't go to downtown Orlando. Instead, their Orlando station is at the Orlando International Airport, right next door to Terminal C. But the advantage of Brightline being at Orlando's airport is that you can easily rent a car after riding Brightline, because right after you board a people mover into the main airport, you can follow the signs to the rental car area. If you need to rent a car in Miami after arriving on Brightline, take the Miami Metro Orange line to the airport and rent a car there. Now we are entering Orlando International Airport. Brightline also built a maintenance depot that is located just south of the airport. This concrete bridge carries the people mover that travels from Terminal C to the main terminal. The building in the distance is Orlando International Airport Station. For my thoughts, Brightline has tons of potential and the cost of riding them is truly worth it. They are not only changing railroading in the state of Florida, but they change railroading in the United States as the first privately financed and operated intercity passenger rail service in the US, breaking boundaries and opening doors for high-speed rail to appear elsewhere in the country. Here we are, Orlando International Airport. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow on TikTok and Instagram for more. The United States economy has potential for high-speed rail, and Brightline is just the beginning. See you next time.